Hi and welcome back to a new video using Art Anthology products. Today I'm sharing an art journal page with you that I prepared with some crackle paint and let it dry overnight. So you can see the crackle a little bit in the background, and in order to emphasize those crackles a little more, I'm using the Colorations sprays from Art Anthology in the colors Avocado, Timeless, and Sandcastle, and I'm adding two layers. Layer one is just the Sandcastle and the Timeless, and it creates like a nice brown orange tone on it. And then on the second layer, I'm adding a little bit avocado just to pimp it up a little bit more, and then a little bit more Timeless and Sandcastle. And then I heat set everything, and because it's coloration sprays, it takes a little bit longer, so no worries, I'm not showing this in the video. So, but after it was dry, I felt it looks a little bit like dragon scales, so I picked up one of my dragon stems. I love dragons, by the way. I picked up one of my dragon stems, and for whatever reason, I didn't find my easy mount, so I couldn't mount that stem. So I tried to get it stamped a little bit different, but then, as you can see, the impression is perfectly fine, so no issues there. So then I colored the little dragon, and I wanted to color it kind of in a contrast color to that orangey brown, to that green brown. So I picked an orange and a red. And the orange is the Tango, the Velvet and Tango, and the red tone is a tone that doesn't have a name yet. So if you like the red color that I'm using for the dragon, let Stacy from Art Anthology know so she can add it to this store, and you can get it too. So, but I'm just coloring it in, and I'm mixing the paints with water a little bit just to thin them down and to be able to blend it a little better. So, and I started with the lighter color, which is the Tango, and colored the entire dragon in that color. And then I used the darker red orange to add a little bit more dimension to it. And then again, I went over with the Tango to just blend it in again. And at the end, it looks like I added a few shadows to the dragon, and with a super easy technique, as you can see here. So it's really, you don't need to be the most advanced painter in order to add just a little bit dimensions to your images. So then I fuzzy cut the whole dragon and outline it with my Pit pen, just so I have a really clear and crisp outline of the dragon. And it just adds a little bit more oomph to the image. So because I painted over the stemmed lines, I'm just emphasizing a few of them with my micron pen just to make them stand out a little bit more. Mainly just the eyes, the mouth, some of the scales, and then I also fill in the scales with the black micron pen. So because I didn't know which color to color that I'm in, so I just decided, well, I already have the black pen in my head, so I'm just using the black pen. And then go around all the dragons, so I really have everything nice and crisp. Then I decided I need some more for the background, so I cut out some of the wildflowers from a Sizzix die cut set in both black cardstock. And because they're rather intricate, so you should use like your precision plate on the Sizzix Big Shot machine, or at least that's what I have. Whatever die cut machine you have. If you have like one of those metal plates, it helps really to get a good cut for those intricate die cuts. So after I was done die cutting those, I added a very light shade of gesso to it, and I used a dry brush and put it on there. I wanted to get like kind of a grungy look. I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to cover it all in white gesso, because otherwise I would have just die cut it from white, but I wanted to have like a grungy look. I didn't want to have that bright black. And that also helped me to use my leaf sorbet and dry brush that over all the wildflowers. And then at the final step, I'm adding the gold metal effects, and that adds a really interesting effect to the flowers, because you have that grain shimmering going on, a little bit glitter from the sorbet because it always has glitter in it, and then the metal effect makes it really shine nicely, but not that it is like in your face. So because it's still for the background, I didn't want to have it like too bright and too bold. It really adds a nice metal shine to it. So, and that's what I really enjoyed with those, with the gold metal effect. So after I was done brushing those, I let them dry a little bit, and I started laying out my page, and I decided that I want to add a little bit wooden elements just because the background is kind of earthy. So I grabbed one of my, that is an adhesive backed piece of wood It's like kind of a wood tape. And then I use that circle here, cut it in half because it's rather bulky. So, and I wanted to have it in the background, and just add a little bit of gesso to it. Then I'm also adding a little bit of gesso to the background page, just to add a little bit more interest, a little bit more texture to it. Not really to cover anything up because I love the page how it looks like. It's really more to add a little bit of interest to the page. And I really like that effect when you just scrape a little bit gesso over some areas to highlight the texture that you have. So then I'm starting assembling everything, and I'm just using some tissue tape to decorate my little wooden strip. I use something with scribbles on it and something with a little bit pattern, and just really randomly adhere it on top of my little wooden sticker. I don't know what else to call it. And then I adhere first the background flowers to the page. Because they were a little too long, I had to cut them down a little bit, but that was totally fine. So, and then I'm just assembling those, adhering them down. I'm using a Martha Stewart glue pen. I'm not quite sure. I will see how long this one lasts because that's actually rather light glue, so it's not really a strong adhesive. And I adhered it on top of all the crinkles, so I will see how it holds. So far, so good, but I just finished up, so hard to say. And then I'm adhering my little wood strip with all the tissue paper on top, and after I adhered it down, I realized, it's a little crooked, but I wasn't able to pull it up anymore, so I just left it as is and was like, whatever, that's art. It was meant to be like that. And then I'm adding my little half circle on top using my Tombow Mono Multi, whatever the glue is called. And then finally have the place for my little dragon here. And because that wood piece, the circle part, is a little bit bulky, I'm adhering my little dragon with foam tape to be able to pull it up a little bit more and have it then at the same level as the wooden piece. So then I just outlined the wood piece and the tissue tape with some black gelato just to add a little bit shadow to it. And then as a final step, I'm adding my sentiment on top of the page, and I used one of those Tim Holtz small talk, whatever stickers they are called. Yeah, and that is my page for today. I hope you enjoyed today's art journal page using Art Anthology products. Unfortunately, that was my last project for Art Anthology, but as you know, I love their products and I already have them here, so why not use them? So you will see further inspiration using their products going on. Just don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you see all this inspiration. And then I hope we will see you soon. Bye.